What name does the creator of all things call me? This is also from Tabitha, the same person who created this book. Helping our children understand their identity. What name does the creator of all things call me? Black, colored, the N-word, African American, Negro. What name does the creator of all things call me? Of all the names given to us, which one is our true identity? And why are there so many? I wonder what the adults will say. Let's ask and see. Like any kid would, I started with Mommy. Mama, what name does the creator of all things call me? Jacob. Baby, you black. And it's as simple as that. But Mama, how could I be that? Black is simply the color of the shoes on my feet, the TV screen, or Daddy's special tux. You know, the one you like so much? Mama, black is just a color. It doesn't really describe us. Surprisingly, she agreed. Baby, that's all right and true, but that's just what we do. Most folks don't really have a clue. I walked away, still confused. I mean, with so many different names, you would be too. The next day, I thought to ask my granny and grandpa about it, but when I did, they became saddened. Jacob, Negro was all we had. Living under Jim Crow laws was real bad, could make you go mad. But the movement gave us freedom at last, Papa said. On their faces, I saw the pain of many years spent fighting racists. Their activism made things easier for young people like me. Public bathrooms and classrooms were just a few of the spaces they freed. I could only say, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it like that. Still, in the back of my head, I knew that in Spanish, Negro means black. And as I listened more, I was still confused. With so many names, you would be too. Back up the street, I ran into Mr. Claude, a friend of my family. He knows a lot about everything. So I asked him, what name does the creator of all things call me? With a grin on his face, he said, colored would be my best guess. Colored? Mr. Claude, you don't think that's far-fetched? And with an even bigger grin, he replied, a little, but son, that's what they would call us for fun. They know we more than that. And definitely not black. Problem is, a lot of our history got lost from way back, gone without a trace. Well then, it's got to be someplace, I said. Now with the grin on my face, yep, that's right, young fella. And the answer is usually staring you right in your face. Jacob, just keep looking. I'm sure you'll find it out sometime, someday. With Mr. Claude's cheerful motivation, I picked up the pace. But still, I was confused. With all these different names, you will be too. Looks like he's at the library. Do you like the library? I know I do. The next day at school, I asked my teacher, Mrs. Tito, what name does the creator of all things call me? With such great mind and afro, I thought for sure she would know. She walked over the shelf, pulled down the book, turned to page, and told me, take a look, Jacob. You see, in 1980s, a civil rights leader named Jesse campaigned so we can call ourselves African American, to show pride in both sides. Pride? But why? Africa is a continent of 54 countries. Wouldn't we be playing a guessing game? Plus, Miss Tito, I know I'm not so great with math, but you were born in 1970s, and so that will make you older than our identity. Now, how he know she was born in the 1970s? Boop. Y'all kids is something else. I cannot with y'all. Y'all, people they underestimate y'all, but y'all are smart. Well, Jacob, I haven't thought of all of that. Still, it's a fact that most prefer African American to black. I closed the book, still so confused with all these different names. You would be too. Oh, now who is this?
Yeah. You know I love to see you shine that light.
On the way home, I stopped by my big cousin Kenny's house. Though he's always gaming and uses a lot of profanity, he's usually talking about something deep. So I asked him, "Cuz, what name does the creator of all things call us?" His answer made me want to shout, "Bruh!" He say my name. Word. The N-word. If the creator was real, we'd have peace in the hood and everything would be all good. But it ain't that way in our community. Shoot. In America, we got the same energy for centuries. To them, we just a bunch of N-words. You feel me? To that, I can only sign. Everyone had a different identity and no good reason why. The confusion made me want to just cry. Feeling hopeless and sad, I was out of people to ask. So I began jogging my memory for things my dad would always say to me. And just then, I remembered him saying, "Jacob, when you were confused and don't know what to do, just talk to you know who." So before Jacob went to sleep, what is Jacob doing? He's saying his prayers. He talked to the Creator himself. So that night, I prayed long and hard that the Creator would show me exactly who we are. Soon, I fell fast asleep and began to dream an amazing dream. When I awoke, the tallest mountain I had ever seen was standing right before me, and it was blazing. He must have had a dream. A voice sounding like crashing waves began to speak. It was the Creator of all things. He asked me, Jacob, are you ready? Startled, I stayed in a hurry. For what, Almighty? To learn your true identity. Just then, Daddy's Bible fell into my lap, and it opened to the 28th chapter of Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 28:15. Listen up. Read. He said to me. I couldn't believe what was happening. Numbers and words began to float up from the page and get stuck in the flames. I replied, Deuteronomy 28:15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not listen unto the voice of the Creator, to observe and to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Murder, stealing, adultery, all of these things that you see people doing, especially our people, the gun violence, the violence against us killing one another and stealing from each other, committing idolatry, worshiping God that is not the Almighty, adding gods to the Almighty, or making religions out of the Almighty laws, statutes, and commandments. Confused in a bit dazed, I couldn't help but say, Creator, what does all of this mean? He said to me, long ago, my chosen people did not listen. They did evil things like murder, stealing, and idolatry. For this, I punished them, their sons, the Israelites, my people or your people. And their struggle is described from here on. Now read on, son. Deuteronomy 28, verse 16. Suddenly the book began to shake, and like before, numbers and words flew from the page. This time they say, Deuteronomy 28:16, curse shall be in thy city, and curse shall be in thy field. From the smoke arose images of ghettos and cotton fields. It looked so real. The cotton fields. Deuteronomy 28:32. Suddenly, again, the book began to shake. Numbers and words flew from the page and again got stuck into the flames. Read, read, young man, he said again. Deuteronomy 28:32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thy eyes shall look and fill with longing for them all day long. And there shall be no might in thy hand. And again, from the smoke arose words of images, my ancestors having their children taken from them. Deuteronomy 28:48. And again, the book began to shake. Numbers and words flew off the page and got stuck in the flames. These times, he didn't have anything to say. It was obviously my history. I wanted to read. Deuteronomy 28:48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Creator shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. Up from the smoke came images of black men with shackles around their throats, and the poor women living under the Jim Crow. That's what he was seeing in his dreams. And again, the book began to shake, and the words flew from the page and got stuck in the flames. And the last time they say, Deuteronomy 28:68, and the Creator shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships by the way thereof I spoke unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there shall be sold unto you your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. No man can save you out of this slavery. See, first Moses saved us out of Egypt, but this time the Most High said, you're going to go to Egypt. Back to bondage, because Egypt means bondage. We're going to go back to Egypt, but on ships this time. And that was the transatlantic slave trade. And no man could buy us. The only thing that's going to get us up out this captivity is if we follow all the Most High commandments. Israelite. It's the covenant. I thought slavery, wow, it couldn't be, but it made all sense. And from the smoke arose a terrible scene. I was ready to end this dream. Unable to watch anymore, I shouted, so, Creator, Israelite, is that what you call me? Is that the name I've been looking for?
Yes, indeed.
He replied. Now, Jacob, study your holy scriptures, pray for wisdom, and apply. Do that, and you will reclaim your name. But for now, I must go. Bye-bye, my son. It was fun. Oh. The next morning, when I awoke from my dream, I couldn't stop smiling. I looked in the mirror to see a confident face staring back at me. Do y'all have a mirror? I can do the challenge. In 20 seconds, get you a mirror.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Whew. I was fast. But I give you some time, because I know you were caught off guard. So was I. But I know exactly where my mirror is. I love the mirror reflection. So, he looked at himself. The next morning when I woke up from my dream, I couldn't stop smiling. I looked in the mirror to see a confident face staring back at me. There was no more confusion. Now I had the answer I was seeking. Israelite. That's what the Creator of all things called me. The end. So that book was nice. I liked it. So we have read these 3 books. I'm going to end this video here, but check out the next video. I'm going to read the King David book and Deborah. And these are both written and illustrated by Quinn Battiste. So don't forget to do the deal with me. Do that to get you a package of some activities that can keep you busy for the Shabbat day or just fun. Shalom, divine children.
Stay tuned for the next story time.